Okay, so today we're going to learn about percentiles. And percentiles, I think a good way of thinking of it is like the difference between a percentile and a quartile is how you break it up. So quartile comes from the word quarter. So if you think about it, we break it up into 4 spots. Like you break it up at the median, you break it up into Q1 and Q3, and if you sat there and looked at your data, you'd have data here, data here, data here, and data here. So you'd have data at 4 spots. What a percentile is percent comes from the word cent or 100. So really we have 100 of these little tick marks in here where your data is broken up. Realistically, we can't realistically break this data into 100 tiny pieces. So we do it a couple different ways to find their percentages. Let's talk about if we want to find a percentile of 26, because that's one of our numbers in here, so I want to find the percentile of 26. How we would do that is we count up all the numbers up to and including 26. So we're going to count up all of these numbers up to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 13 numbers, and we're going to put that over top of how many total numbers there are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's a total of 20 numbers. And so if you do that, we can do 13 divided by 20. And we can see that the percentage that we would get would be 65%. So that is where my percentage lies. So 26 is the 65th percentile. And again, you do this by counting up all the numbers that you have until there over the total number of numbers. So let's do this again. Let's pick a different number. Let's say the number we're going to pick this time, I don't know, is 38. So let's pick 38. So we're going to find the percentile of 38. To do this again, we have to count up all the numbers. So we count all the way up to 38, which, since there's 20 numbers, that's the 18th number. And out of 28, if we do that, 18 divided by 20 would give us 0.9, which if you see 0.9, that's not 9%, that's 90%. So that's the percentile of that. Okay. Let's do one last percentile. All the percentages that we've done have been a single number. But what if we got like 21? You can see that there's multiple 21s in here. So if we had to find that percentile, you actually have to add to the last 21. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that'd be 8 over 20, which again, if you do 8 divided by 20, you get 0.4, which we would know to be 40%. So that's how you do percentiles. You take how many numbers you have up to that number with it, divide it by how many total numbers there are. Now let's say they wanted us to find a percentile. Let's say they wanted the percentile at 32%. You might go, how in the world are we going to do that? Well, what you want to do is you want to take your percentage, which that's 0.32, and times it by the total number of numbers there are. There's 20 of them. And that's going to tell you about where the number we need is. So for this one, we would take 0.32 and times it by 20, which is how many total numbers there are. And we got, 6.4, which we can say is around 6.5. So halfway between our 6th and our 7th numbers. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our 7th number is 21. So halfway in between 21 and 21 is 21. So we use this to figure out which number we need to look between, which is between our 6th and our 7th number. Let's do this one more time. So let's see what we would need to do to find our percentile at 80%. Again, we'd want to take 0.8 and times that by 20. So when we do that, we would say the 16th. So we have to go down to the 16th number, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that would be 36. The interesting part is we can also do this for quartiles now. Instead of doing your quartiles as like counting your halfway points, your quartile, like your first quartile, should be at 25%. Your second quartile should be at 50%. And your third quartile should be at 75%. So you can actually use these percentages to find your quartiles faster than actually cutting this thing in half and finding the different things. But it still works the same way. That's the basic idea besides percentiles. If you get stuck with any of the questions, please let me know, and I can help you through it.